Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and good afternoon to each and everyone. Hi, hello. I am Karen S. Tamondan and I'm here to you all to discuss about lesson 8, which is the introduction, which is about art of emerging Europe. So first of all, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to number one, identify the major periods in Western art history. Malalaman natin yung mga major periods sa Western art history, which is sa Europe nga. Then, number two is pair and contrast the artworks produced during the different periods and the art movements, which is mako-compare natin kung ano nga ba yung mga nangyari during emerging in Europe. Ano yung mga artworks na naganap during that period of time, ano yung nag-development, ano yung nangyari nga. Malalaman natin mamaya sa discussion na ito. Number three is discuss the importance of art to the development of Western culture, which is malalaman na natin by this end of lesson yung importance ng art sa development ng Western art and history. So, let's proceed to the lesson. So, in the introduction, art has been integral part in European history, which is importante nga ang art sa European history. From the time of the ancient civilization like the Greeks and the Romans all the way to the modern times. Art has been used to communicate ideologies and belief system prevalent within their context. Ang art nga ang ginagamit to communicate sa mga belief system through that period of time. So, ang Greek pati ang Roman civilization is known as the classical word because both cultures aim to embody the highest possible standard of quality in all aspects of their societies. Where it comes to both art and architecture, both civilizations intended to promote the possibility of having an objective and widely accepted standard for beauty. The influence and impact of both classical worlds are far-reaching. Most art movements have taken inspiration from the certain artistic elements from the two civilizations. There are different art movements that emerge within the different time periods in Europe. Each movement has a distinctive characteristic to them, highlighting the different trends and changes as they transition from one period to the next. So, malalaman nga natin mamaya kung ano nga ba yung artworks na na-develop during that time. So, malalaman nga natin kung ano yung na-develop na artworks during that time period, which is makikita din natin doon na may nag-emerge during that period na kung saan sa Greeks is may na-develop at may nakuha ang Roman civilization, which is malalaman natin pag i-discuss ko na sa inyo isa-isa. So, let's start to explain everything. So first is ancient Greece. The Greeks were known to excel in various fields and aspects of society, which is example nito is ang kanilang mga political ideas, which is eventually become the framework of the democratic form of government in modern times. Sa kanila nagsimula ang democratic form ng gumagoberno, which is dahil sa political ideals nila. They also valued poetry, drama, and philosophy, kung saan naging remain interesting ito sa field of study ng contemporary times. For those who want to be involved in the arts, is like painting, sculpture, and architecture, sinasabi dito na kailangan itong gina-required talaga siya na meron kang certain skill kung saan makakaya mong gawin ito at saka may body of knowledge ka, like meron kang idea talaga paano gawin, hindi ka like gawa-gawa ka lang ng painting nang wala kang idea. Kailangan meron kang certain skill na nakaset pati body of language. Then, in second paragraph, sinasabi dito na the Greeks were known to place prime importance in the use of reason. For this civilization, man was at the center of society. Ang man daw ang center of the society, which is alam nga natin na napag-aralan na ang man ang gumagawa ng artworks, which is kaya nasabi din dito na man was at the center of society, which is how they train their minds, could be the very foundation of how they live their lives. The humanities ideals of the Greeks were reflected in their democratic form of government, which is gumagalaw nga dito is yung mga tao. This certain level of freedom was also reflected in their artworks, architecture, literature, and philosophy. The Greeks were notable, passionate about natural phenomenon, and believed that nature should be in perfect order. Saan this principle, belief systems, and ideologies are at the one of Greek art and architecture, which is binanggit nga dito is yung mga tao, yung center ng society, which is sila yung gumagawa ng artwork, ginagamitan nila ito ng craftsmanship, at etc. So, in this part din, ang development of Greeks art can be divided into 4 periods, which is geometric, archaic, classical, and Hellenistic. Ang geometric period was a time when Greece was starting to get back from the onslaught of what seemed to be their dark ages. Ito yung period ng time kung saan nagsisimula na silang bumalik sa yung pinagdaanan nilang dark ages is nagsisimula na silang mag-recover kung saan dito nagsisimula na silang mamuhay ulit. And it was a period when geometric shapes and pattern have taken the spotlight in most of the artworks, which is nakikita nga din daw dito sa periods na to is yung mga shapes, patterns is nagsisimula na din malagay sa spotlight ng mga artworks. Then, ang archaic period, on the other hand, place importance of human figures. Ang archaic period naman is, dito naman na spotlight naman dito is mga human figures. This was primarily a result of Greece trading activities with other civilization. Saan ito ang naging resulta ng pagpapalitan ng Greece sa ibang civilization, pagtitrade kumbaga. The peak of Greek sculpture and architecture was during the classical period naman. It was during the time when the Greeks found themselves rebuilding their temples and focusing on the creating artworks. Dito sa classical period is nakita ng mga Greeks na kung saan na-focus sila sa artworks, which is inaayos na nila ulit yung mga temples nila, tapos mas nag-focus sila na lagyan ito ng mga artworks, hindi kagaya nung dati, which is nag-focus sila most on designing the temples. The time of Alexander the Great naman was called the Hellenistic period, kung saan during this time, art was primarily focused on showcasing emotions and depicting reality. Nung time naman ang Hellenistic period is kung saan showcasing emotions naman ang nasa spotlight. Kung saan pinapakita yung emotions, kung saan nilalagay ito sa artwork. Kung kunwari yung artist is masaya siya, so makulay masyado yung artwork. Kung kunwari naman malungkot siya, so parang madilim masyado yung artwork, ganon. Hellenistic sculptures started to emphasize balance while showcasing dynamic poses and number of emotions involved by the subjects. One of the famous Hellenistic sculptures is the Lacon and his sons. Ang Lacon and his sons is makikita din natin mamaya sa pictures, ipakikita ko na sa inyo. May figure dito which is makikita natin sa picture nga na the sculptures depicts Lakon, a Trojan priest, and his sons being strangled by serpents. Makikita natin na parang like yung si Lakon nga pati yung mga anak niya is parang like nag-strangle good, nagka-gulo-gulo sila, yung hindi maayos yung pagkakalapit-lapit niya, yung isang paayos nandun sa kabilang paanong isa, ganun, makikita niyo din sa pictures. Their position was a result of Lacon's instruction during the Trojan War. He instructed to keep the gates of Troy locked up because he felt that the wooden horse offered by the Greeks as a gift to Athena was a trick. Yung position pala nila is dahil yun ang instruction ni Lakon sa mga anak niya na magganon nga sila para maprotekta nila ang isa't isa. Poseidon, the Greek god of the sea, was enraged by just action which led them to send serpents to strangle Lakon and his sons. Yun pala yung dahilan kung bakit yun na ang naging itsura nila sa picture. So, ayun na nga, ito yung sa picture, which is sa figure 8, si Lakon pati ang kanyang sons, which is this is example of work wherein the Greeks emphasize the details of the body. Makikita na nga natin na detalyo nga dito ang mga kanilang katawan, which is most subjects of their work includes the gods of the Greek methodology. So here, the origins of the theater and drama can be traced back during the Greek civilization. So, nagsimula pala ang theater pati ang drama sa Greek civilization. The followers of Dionysmus, the god of fertility, started the Greek theater. People who were devoted of Dionysus will dance during ceremonies while giving their offerings to their god. So, yun na nga, nagsasayawan nga sila while gina-offer nila ang kanilang offerings sa kanilang mga god. Eventually, Dionysians devised a more structured form of the Nemesis involving dances and choreoscopes which depict Greek methodology. Eventually, the Greeks organized theatrical contests wherein the performances is held in which is held in large cities and madaming nanonood. At dito nagsimula na nga yung theater competition, theater contest dito sa Greek civilization. So, next naman is ancient Rome. The Roman Republic was established 500 BCE. Itong civilization eventually transformed into one of Western Europe's mightiest empire. Since they had expanded and covered many territories, they interacted with neighboring civilization, particularly with the Greeks. Dito na nagsimula ang emerging. Nag-emerge ang Greeks pati ang Roman civilization. So, sinasabi nga dito na ang Roman civilization is nanggaling din pala sa Hellenistic period, which is dito na nga natin makikita na nag-emerge ang Greeks pati Roman kasi nga 'di ba sa development kanina na nabanggit ko is nandun ang Hellenistic period, which is dun din pala galing ang Roman civilization. As mentioned earlier, it was a period when the Greek culture's influence has reached its peak in the Mediterranean world. The Romans were found all the Greeks and their achievements in the art. The fusion of Greek and Roman cultures can be seen in the most Roman artworks. May kita nga daw dito na most sa Roman artwork is nag-emerge ang Greek pati ang Roman. Some would argue that the Romans merely copied Greeks. Madaming nagsasabi daw na ang Romans nga daw is ginakopya ang Greek art, which is hindi naman natin masasabi itong totoo kung walang patunay na tayong makikita. This eventually made the Roman produce artworks that are often lacking steam and harsh and strong, which is dun nga na parang pinapakita nilang hindi naman nila kinopya ang Greeks, kaya mas naglabas sila na Yung mga artwork nila is mga harsh, strong, malalakas. They also involve the principles of realism. Pumasok din dito ang principle of realism, which is mapapag-aralan din ito eventually. In most of their artworks, highlighting the features of human beings. So, parang makikita din dito sa Roman ang naka-highlight din sila sa artworks ng mga features ng human, yung katawan ng human. Aside from this, the Roman were also known the master builders. Wow! Ang Roman daw is like known din sa mga master builders which earned their reputation for grand monuments. And architecture in structures. One of their architectural achievement will have to be the Colosseum. This amphitheater was built and constructed during the reign of Emperor Vespasian. One of the main uses was for entertainment purpose. So, pinatayo nga ito for entertainment purposes like public events, graduate games. This structure was in concrete manifestations of Roman builders, craftsmanship which focused on logical organization of the entire edifice. So, sa Roman civilization, meron din dito picture na makikita natin sa figure 9 which is si Poseidon and Medusa. Just like the Greeks, the Roman valued their gods and this was evident with their sculptures and artworks. Ancient Greece had a huge impact in the formation of Roman culture. There are a lot of Greek influences evident in Roman theater and drama. Writers of comedy like Plato's and Terence have patterned their artworks to those of Greek works since the Roman audience was not as enthusiastic about theatrical works. Unlike their Greek counterparts, most plays had to be included in the Roman games. So, makikita nga natin dito na nag-emerge ang Greeks pati ang Roman. Madami daw na influence ang Greeks sa Roman arts. So, ang kasunod naman is ang Middle Ages. Ito naman ang term kung saan it is a period between the decline of Roman Empire and the Renaissance. It was a period that is characterized by ignorance and darkness. Ito nga yung period kung saan nandito yung kinakarakterize as sa ignorance and darkness, which is another dominant characteristics of the period was that the church, ang simbahan. Ito ang central naman ng figure and authority of the period. Ang simbahan ang center naman ng period na ito, kung saan ang church was the most important figure. The most important products of the early Middle Ages would have to be copied of all Christian sculptures. Sa period na to, dito makikita natin ang mostly lahat ng mga simbahan, dito nagsimula ang church. Kung saan the printing press come later after the Middle Ages. So, ang copies of the sculptures were done by hand. So, kasi wala pa dito yung printing press. Kasi after pa nito ang Middle Age. So, at that time, while ginakopy nila ang Christian sculptures, then ginagamit ito by hand. Gina-craftsmanship talaga ito ng mga tao doon at that moment. Those copies were also done with illustrations and decorations which highlight the religious focus of the period. Parang itong period na ito is nakafocus naman sila sa religious, kung saan kinokopya nila yung yung Christian sculptures kung saan while ginagawa nito meron dong nakapasok ang illustrations and decorations which is it is involved art. Then during that time ang Greek kung saan that time the cathedrals was also built. These cathedrals can be categorized cathedrals can be categorized into two periods, which is the Romanesque 1050 to 1200s, inspired by the old Roman Empire, and Gothic 1200 to 1500s, which had a more northern flavor from the Vulgar and barbarian. So next naman is ang Renaissance art. During the Renaissance period, artists valued the individual. Sa Renaissance art naman is ang nakapasok naman dito is about individual as an individual is yun ang subject ng art nila as an individual. Tinitingnan nila is yung individual ng mga tao. Yun ang kinukuha nilang subject sa arts nila. The influence of humanism, pumasok naman dito ang tao, which is shifted the focus of some artworks during the Renaissance period to empower the individual. Most artworks emphasize naturalism. Pumasok naman dito ang naturalism. Is madidiscuss din ito. Malalaman nyo din kung ano nga ba ang naturalism, which was also an influence of humanism since there was a great emphasis on the professionality of the human body. Kung saan, syempre nga 'di ba, ang focus dito is as a individual, kung saan nandoon din talaga ang human body. Most artists also added perspective of depth wherein spaces were explored in different artworks. This technique provides a three-dimensional perspective of most Renaissance paintings. Renaissance artists also gave importance to non-religious themes or subjects. So, ito ding Renaissance artists is binigyan pansin naman din ang mga non-religious themes pati subject. Kung last, sa Middle Ages is nakafocus talaga sila sa mga church, lahat talaga is religious. Dito naman is nabigyan pansin naman ang non-religious subjects sa art. This is also brought by the privilegizations of the art during the Renaissance period. However, most artworks remain religious in its focus in theme. Even though binigyan pansin nga ang non-religious subjects is mostly focus pa rin talaga nila is religious ang theme ng kanilang artwork. So, this period naman sa Renaissance is meron tayong makikitang picture dyan, which is the figure 10, Michelangelo, David. This sculpture is an example of how humanism was the dominant belief system during the Renaissance. This is emphasized on the details of the body of human being. Mapapansin natin mostly is nakafocus talaga sa human body pero may pagkakaiba pa rin na na-develop during that period. So, during the Renaissance period, there was also a revival of Roman theatrical plays. So, this Renaissance period is parang like mostly parang nagkakaroon ng revival. Like, kunwari nagkakaaway sila ng Roman theatrical plays. Which is this place where performed during special occasions at the courts of Italian princes. The plays were done in just a way that showcased grand and lavish entertainment. dito naman sa Renaissance period is like may place din sila kung saan ito ay nagpapakita ng grand and lavish entertainment for the audience. Entertainment purposes din ang kanilang pinapakita. Aside from the song and dance numbers, they invested in elaborate stages and costumes for the actors. Makikita din natin na hindi lang sila kumakanta at sumasayaw during that place kung saan meron ding special costumes for the actors. Eventually, this would lead to Italy's opera, which have greatly influenced their tradition of popular theater. Kasi nga, opera it is popular. So, next is about Manierism. Manierism was a period in art history which was a product of Renaissance period. So, ang Manierism is product siya ng Renaissance period. Sinasabi nga dito, during the Renaissance, artists would observe nature and try their best to emulate it. Based on their observations, as the Renaissance ended, artists started directly copying subject from existing works of art. So, parang nakikita dito sa period na to na nung pagkatapos ng Renaissance period, which is ang pumasok is Manierism period, is ang parang ang nangyari sa mga artists is parang kinokopya na lang nila kung ano yung mga artwork na nag-exist na, which is like, tapos nang gawin ng mga previous artists is parang kinokopya na nga lang nila yung nangyayari dito sa Manierism period. Which is, most artwork during this period is displayed distorted figures. Then, two-dimensional spaces, which is two-dimensional spaces is discordance, pose, and colors, and lack of defined focal point. Yun ang nangyari sa period na to. Maiksi man, pero like, makakabuluhan naman at may matututunan pa rin tayo. So, in my last topic, which is ito na yung last na i-discuss ko sa inyo, is ang Barocco and the Rococo. Ang term na Barocco, which is spelled in Baroque, is derived siya sa term ng Portuguese na Barocco, which is spelled by Barocco, which is translated as irregularly shaped pearl. Yun yung meaning ng Barocco. Which is this is suitable description that Rome was the birthplace of the Baroque period. So, ito pa lang Baroque period din is nanggaling din siya sa Rome civilization, sa Roman. Doon din galing ang Baroque period, which is according to some historians, was a response to Protestantism. This period roughly spanned from 1600s to 1750. Although it was a period following the Renaissance, it can be said that a lot of artists have developed styles and techniques different from their Renaissance predecessors. So, parang makikita natin dito na ang mga, even though it is followed from Renaissance, makikita pa rin dito ang kaibahan na nangyari. Which is yung artist is iba yung mga ginamit nila na styles and techniques sa paggawa ng art. Which is most artists use colorful palettes. Which is most artists is ginamit nila is colorful palettes, which is iba't ibang colors, hindi kagaya ng Renaissance, ganon. Kakaiba, yun ang nag-develop sa Barocco and the Rococo period. and ornamentations in the art. Madaming ornaments ang makikita sa art na period na ito. This was a time when Italy in particular strengthened not only their religion but also other aspects like politics and art, which is makikita nga din daw dito na like hindi lang nakafocus ito sa religion kung saan makikita din dito ang ibang aspect kagaya nga ng politics and art. Ang expansion was the central theme of the period. Expansion ang central theme naman dito. Iba-iba ang nangyayari sa kada period, which become very much evident in the artworks produced during this time. Motion and space were taken into the consideration by artists. So, parang ang nangyari din dito is like, lumabas din dito ang motion pati space kung saan mapapag-aralan din ito sa ibang lesson. Like the use of dramatic lighting and the concept of time. So, parang makikita natin sa artworks nila na madaming kakaibang sa mga lightings, pati sa oras ng kanilang artwork. So, aside from art din is, pumasok na dito ang music. Music also flourished during the Baroque period. This is because people believed that music could serve as powerful tool to communicate messages that can be invoke certain feelings among its listeners. So, kaya pumasok ang music dito is parang naniniwala yung mga tao na it is a powerful to communicate messages and feelings kung saan, 'di ba? Pag nakikinig tayo ng music, merong talagang message itong pinapadala sa atin kung saan mararamdaman natin. Minsan makaka-relate pa nga tayo kung saan kunwari in love yung taong gumawa ng music na yon, which is mafe-feel natin yun through gamit yung music na ginawa niya. Baroque music was able to clearly distinguish loud from soft and solo from a symbol. So, ang Baroque music naman is parang like madidistinguish nga natin talaga kung malakas ba ito or soft lang yung music. Since the birthplace of this period was in Rome, which is ang birthplace nga 'di ba is ng Baroko is ang Rome, nabanggit ko din kanina. It did not come as a surprise that most composers it is come from Italy. Hindi na tayo masa-surprise na lahat ang mostly ng mga composers ng mga music is come from Italy. Kung saan, syempre, it is in Rome. This includes Vivaldi, Corelli, and Monteverdi. So, I'm accepting corrections about my pronunciations po. Freely correct me lang if I'm mistaken. Eventually, the influence of Baroque music spread outside Italy and reached other parts of Europe. So, since nagsimula nga dito sa period na to, ang music is eventually nag-spread out na nga ito sa iba't ibang parts ng Europe. Other well-known Baroque composers include Germany's Bach and Handel, since Baroque composers through their works try to invoke certain emotions from their audience. They began to make more complex musical compositions and performances. So, nagsimula na din nga silang gumawa ng mas kakaibang music para sa mga kunwari like performance, contest. However, it can be noted that initially this kind of music was limited only to powerful institutions like the church and individuals like patrons. Eventually, just performances will be made accessible to be middle class, and the masses. So, in this period nga sa Baroko is may makikita din tayong picture dyan sa PPT, which is in figure 11, the Assumptions of the Virgin. Painting by Italian located at Venice, Italy, which is the Bible verse in the painting shows how the Baroque period reverted to having religious subjects in their works. And that's all for my report. Then, meron din itong kasunod which is in my partners. Thank you for listening and I hope you gain knowledge about my report. Thank you.